Hey everyone, welcome to On the Rocks. I'm your trail guide, Claudia Collins, and I'm taking you along for my adventures as I check hikes, waterfalls, and other outdoor activities off of my Arizona bucket list. Thanks to Desert Financial Credit Union, today we're going kayaking. We're headed to the Saguaro Lake Guest Ranch for this Salt River adventure.
I discovered kayaking on the Salt River here at the Saguaro Lake Ranch the first weekend that I moved out to Arizona. I was looking for a summer activity to do when it was like 115 degrees, and this absolutely hit the mark in every way, and you'll see why.
There's a couple reasons why I think the Saguaro Lake Guest Ranch is the best for kayaking. For starters, you don't need to worry about bringing your own kayaks and driving two cars to have one parked at the end of the river. But the biggest reason is this, the launch site. This is the closest launch point to the Saguaro Lake Dam, which means this is the only direct view of this, the Bulldog Cliffs. I think this is one of my favorite sites in all of Arizona. These cliffs emerging from the water are just magical and massive, and there's nothing like seeing them up close from the comfort of your kayak. After passing the Bulldog Cliffs, we go from some light rapids to a steady and calm flow of water. But thanks to an extraordinary amount of rainfall this year, the river was really flowing on this trip, which made it extra fun in my opinion. There was a nice blend of light rapids and steady and smooth sections that provided great opportunities for sightseeing, and there's no shortage of sights to see. The river was a little busy on this morning, but I think that makes it fun too. A note of advice, if you're looking for a more tranquil excursion, the earlier you leave, the less crowded the river will be. However, it's also fun to pass by groups of families and friends also out enjoying the river. I've experienced it both ways and love it every time. Our awesome guides told us to watch out for those power lines up above. That was our sign that at the next fork we want to make a right. Keep that in mind. We went through a brief orientation when we arrived at the ranch just to familiarize ourselves with the equipment and the river, and they have lots of useful tips and tricks. And tricks is something that this bunch was sure enjoying as they pulled a fake alligator behind their paddleboard, but I was loving every minute of this. And here's a tip that I have to add. Take some time to turn around. It can be really tempting just to go downstream on your kayak, but the views behind you are always incredible too.
So the power lines are a good way behind us, which means that right here we've got our split off. Snake Rapids is to the left. We're not going to take that way because we don't want to capsize, so we're going to take the bypass right over here to the right.
The bypass was a lot of fun. I've never experienced it rocking the kayak so much. I've taken Snake Rapids before on my own and it can be fun, but I'm certain the bypass was the right call today. And I know that because when the river reconnected, we noticed a lot of kayakers without their kayaks or missing a paddle. I guess Snake Rapids definitely lived up to its reputation. My favorite part of kayaking on the Salt River is being surrounded by nature. The desert views are fantastic, but the wildlife is nearly unmatched. There's always excellent bird watching. I've spotted bald eagles, turtles, and beavers in the past, and there's a good chance you'll see wild horses too. That bridge is our sign that we have about 30 minutes left in our trip. This section before the bridge required the most paddling, but most of the time you really didn't need to work too hard. As we made our way towards the end of the trip, we spent more time looking in the trees for birds. We admired the views of Red Mountain in the distance. And then we spotted the sign for the Foxtail exit, loaded up the kayaks, and took the van back to the ranch.
There's never going to be a day where I regret kayaking on the Salt River. It's such a great escape from the summer heat, and even though you're still in it, the water is so cool and refreshing, and you get to see all the beautiful views that this part of Arizona has to offer.
Thanks for joining me on the Saguaro Lake Guest Ranch kayaking adventure. I'll see you next time on the rocks.